Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled People. In today's episode, bride went full Gollum on my knitting. Friend wants to use me as her backup ATM. Boomers think they don't have to wait. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Bride went full Gollum on my knitting. I'm staying at a hotel right now. Yesterday afternoon, I went downstairs to the lobby to people watch and knit, because the light's much better down there. Lots of people in the lobby. It turns out there was a wedding party getting ready for whatever wedding parties do. An older woman comes over and starts talking about knitting with me. We chat a while. Then she calls over her daughter, who happened to be the bride, to show her my shawl. The bride comes, is friendly, and then asks, "Are you sure you'll be finishing it in time?" "I'm leaving tomorrow." I was a bit confused, because I didn't know the bride and I'm not knitting that shawl for anyone but me. Granted, it's white and lacy and certainly has a bridal look, but still. I laugh it off and say something like, "I don't know you, the shawl is for myself." She went off at me. "This is my wedding, you can't dangle that in front of me and not give it to me. Who do you think you are? I'm never inviting you again." Her poor mother was trying to calm her down and explain that I'm not a guest and have nothing to do with the wedding. I was just standing there totally stumped. The bride finally walked away with a "I don't want your shit anyway," and went back to her group. From the looks I kept getting, she obviously told everyone that I was withholding wedding presents from the bride. The mother apologized and that was enough for me, but seriously, how can people be this delusional? Wow. I'm sure the mom was beyond mortified. Did she keep talking to you after she apologized, or did she have to console her toddler? We talked a few minutes more, mostly her apologizing and me waving her off. She had to get back to the wedding event anyway. Upvoting just for you, pointing out that most entitled people don't seem to outgrow their terrible twos. The "I'm never inviting you again" made me chuckle. Not only did she never invite Opie in the first place, though she might have thought Opie was someone's plus one or on the other side of the family, but never invite her again to another wedding? Is she already planning her next one? I guess someone like her can come up with a long list of possible invitations to get more gifts and money from her friends. With her personality, it seems likely. She sounds like one of those brides who think the entire world stops what it is doing and starts revolving around her wedding for a weekend. She can't fathom that other people would dare live their own lives and have their own things going on that overlap the same weekend as her nuptials. Instead of apologizing to you, I'd expect the mom to get her wildly untethered daughter to pull herself together and apologize for her own behavior. Just because it's her special weekend doesn't mean she can treat other people however she wants when she doesn't get her way. I felt sorry for the mother, mostly. She was so uncomfortable and embarrassed. You really need to contact the groom and have him review the security camera footage. Like, ASAP. Offer to pay for his Uber to catch a flight on GTFO Airlines. Honestly, if someone behaves like that in public towards a stranger, I doubt that attitude could be missed beforehand. Also, I wasn't a guest, how would I contact the groom? As crazy as that is, it's quite the compliment to your knitting. Could you imagine what this bride must have been like when she was a child in a toy store? Mine. Gimme. Unfortunately, some people will never grow out of their nasty habits. Friend wants to use me as her backup ATM. Next month I am going away on vacation with a longtime friend. We are going to the Caribbean for 5 nights. It is not all inclusive, so we will be responsible for paying for food, drinks, and any activities. She asked me how much was I bringing in cash. I said $300 cash plus debit and credit cards. She told me she is going to bring $300 cash but no debit or credit cards. She said she is on a budget and $300 is her limit. I explained that comes around to only $60 per day. This is not one of the cheaper Caribbean islands, so food and drink alone won't leave her with much left over. I reminded her that she needs to factor in cabs, incidentals, or any activities we may decide to do. And you never know if an emergency will come up where she will need money. She says to me, "That is why I have you," and started to laugh. That pissed me off to no end. I tell her that we are both adults who are responsible for our own selves. It would be one thing if she lost her purse and needed money. I would float her money before she even had time to ask. But to purposely use me as her backup ATM is not going to work. I told her now that I know what she is up to. I'm not going to go along with it. If she runs out of money, she will just be asked out and hungry. She needs to bring her cards with her for her own good. She is now telling me I am too harsh and she will bring extra money but no cards. I told her to do what she wants, but if there is an emergency, she is on her own. Let me recap, if I may. Your friend, and I think you are using the term incorrectly, told you she plans on using you to cover her expenses. When you told her no, she then said she'd bring a bit more but no cards to cover her costs. I doubt you can get out of the trip, but she will expect you to cover every cab and get rounds of drinks. We've all known this type. Demand money up front before you even get in a taxi. Under no circumstances open a tab at a bar you go to. Do not allow her to charge anything to the room. In fact, insist she bring a card to put on file because you know she's going to use your money if it's on file. When ordering at restaurants, she will need to show cash up front. Basically, this trip is ruined and your friendship probably is as well. But you must make a choice. Either she pays and you end up miserable but have your money, or you pay and end up miserable out a bunch of cash. This sucks hard, but NTA. Lucky she warned you so you could set your boundaries. Have fun, hope she doesn't sulk. Oh, you know she's going to sulk. What an entitled friend you have. Looking forward to reading the after story when y'all get back from the islands. I'm sure it'll be a good story. Have fun and stick to your decision. $300 for a 5-day trip, sorry, but no way. If it was an all-inclusive resort, maybe it'd be barely enough. But no way otherwise. Ditch her now. She's just going to ruin the trip for you eventually. I spent some delightful minutes wondering about the term asked out, both as a figure of speech and a literal description. A little hyphenated poem. Opie, I am so sorry you are going on a vacation with this person. Your friend is giving me Anna Delvey vibes, so please make sure you don't cash out for her. You will not see that money again. It's good you nipped it in the bud. She can't say you didn't warn her when she runs out of money. As for cabs and Uber, before you board, let he know she Cash App or alternate in paying via Uber app. 'Cause she will run out of money. Something tells me the only Uber she'll get on is the back of a bike with the word Uber painted on the frame XD. When you check into the hotel, let the person at the destination know that nobody can charge your card for room service. When you dine out, ask for separate checks. If you need tickets or admission to any activities, only buy your own ticket and let her get hers. Whenever possible, walk instead of taking taxis, or rent a bike. Boomers think they don't have to wait. In Manchester for the weekend with a partner, and we booked a table at Moose Coffee for brunch with friends. We arrived 15 minutes before the booked time, 11 o'clock, and they were turning away walk-ins until 12:30. Just as our friends arrived, an older couple walked past the queue of people waiting, and sat themselves down. This disheartened us, as we were hoping to sit outside, and they just claimed the last outside table. Oh, well. When the host took our party details from my partner, they asked if there was any way we could sit outside. The host liked around, clocked the pair of boomers, and started. They turned back to us and said, "One moment, I'll check." Then they went over to talk to the couple. "Hi, have you booked?" "No." "Okay, we're booked up until 12:30 today unless you have a reservation." Thankfully, they didn't kick up much of a fuss, but the woman did claim that it was okay, because she used to work at the building next door. Moose coffee is insanely popular. There is a sign telling you to wait to be seated, and there was a queue of people waiting to be seated. This couple just ignored that and tried to style it out. I don't know from where they got the audacity, but they need to put it back. Some are a-holes because people let them get away with it. And it's not just boomers. Exactly what I was going to say. You are insulting a generation because 2PPL didn't wait to be seated. Hate to inform you of this, but there are AHs of entitlement in every generation. I'm a boomer. It's annoying to see people my age acting like entitled idiots. But it's not just a specific age. Entitlement knows no boundaries. I'm a boomer too, and I was raised to have a really strong sense of fairness. And skipping the line isn't fair at all. I always ask someone if they were in line first before just striding up to the counter. It's my tiny way to try to sow good karma. Born 1948, and I've patiently waited for others many times. I've also made mistakes and committed social faux pas by the dozens, as you will too as you go on in years. Denigrating an entire generation of people serves no purpose other than to dehumanize others for someone's own ends/purposes. I expect you are not evil, so please think before you box up millions of folks into one category and then throw stones at them all. If that couple were deliberately being obtuse, then shame on them. But most of us do not behave that way. I mean, well. You're welcome. This isn't a boomer thing. It's an asshole thing that younger people do all the time too, and more. That's behavior. Speaking as a boomer, I make reservations, and they are old enough and experienced enough to do so too. I use a rollator to get around. Was trying to exit an elevator at a doctor's office when 2:30-ish people pushed past me saying, "Out of the way, working people coming through." So yeah, it's not exclusive. They got the audacity from past experiences. That hostess did a good thing by calling them out. Need to put it back, this had me absolutely roaring. Needed that today, cheers. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.